Good evening and welcome to Better Than B, where we hope to give you a list, entertainment, and commentary. I am James Armstrong. I'm joined today by...
Hi, I'm James Waddington.
Sean Sharp.
And Sean, how are you doing today?
Better than I deserve.
There you
of
go.
Course. And you guys?
Doing very well. Same as I was about 5 minutes ago.
And different in Star Wars Day. I just want to give a quick thing out to, I don't know, I was talking out of my ass last week about Alien. I had never seen those movies, like I said. So I apologize if I offend anybody. I don't know what the hell those movies are about. My bad. I probably still won't see them.
I did get a very sympathetic email from a friend I mentioned many times on the show, Don Jolly, who said, "Man, I'm sorry you had to sit through that show with a guy who had never seen Alien before."
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah.
So this is for you. I've never seen the movie. I don't know what it's about, and I will never see the movies.
I thought this was like a Steel Magnolias knockoff,
Is that what it was?
That's what I thought.
Anyway, I had to do that real fast.
There you go. Well, thank you for joining us today. This is going to be our mostly Wonder Woman reaction episode as we go into some, I guess, non-spoiler items about the movie. Sean has yet to see it, so we want to respect that. But I'd just like to hop on into it. The movie did great opening weekend, getting $103 million.
Yep, a record-breaking for a female director and a record-breaking for a female-led movie. Yeah.
And deservedly so.
Yeah, it was a fantastic film.
But
Loved it.
James, just going right into it, continuing off our initial reaction from the first viewing.
From the opening, yeah. Or the press screening.
Yeah.
Press screening. We went to a press screening. Yay!
Second press screening.
Just barely got in there too. I'm glad they took pity on us.
Yeah, they did. Please, sir, can I have another? Okay, kid, little Timmy, you can go in.
There we go. But 1 week later, any new additional thoughts and commentary in the film?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Wonder Woman, to me, was the best superhero movie I have ever seen. Next, I would say modern age superhero movies. I put the Nolan Batman films a little bit before this new era of superhero films, but it is my favorite thus far of the new superhero films. I don't care if it's Marvel or DC. It'd be like Wonder Woman, Guardians 1, Guardians 2, and then in no particular order the rest of the superhero films. It was so good. I was actually thinking about this today. I was listening to the soundtrack at work. I was like, man, I want to see this movie again. From the director, it was Patty Jenkins. This directed a fantastic film. The performances that Gal Gadot and Chris Pine gave, I said this in the first reaction, were just absolutely amazing. Their chemistry together was perfect. You couldn't ask for a better couple. Now, they weren't a couple by any means, but you couldn't ask for better performances from actors in this particular movie. I have no problems with them casting Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. There was a lot of speculation beforehand of whether or not she could pull it off, being a former model, if she was to model for Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman was supposed to be very ferocious and very, a warrior, and maybe Gal Gadot didn't have that body type, but she did an amazing job. All of the action sequences she actually did, the CGI effects in it did not take me out of the movie. It was spot on. The slow motion sequences were spot on. The ending was fantastic. I didn't have a problem with the pacing. Overall, fantastic, solid film. Great course correction for DC. That's how I feel about it.
Yep. Sean, I know you haven't seen the movie, but any thoughts on its release?
A little. For me, it's like I'm watching from the sidelines. It's fine. Like, it's something you made a comment about. It's like, when is DC finally going to pull it off? Where Marvel Universe MCU has been doing, repetitive hits. So a lot of it is a lot
kind of repetitive storylines too.
Well, that's the MCU.
But the thing is,
all in good humor.
Yeah.
DC's had these reboots and restarts, and they were all misfires, kind of feeling. I'm really happy to see something like Wonder Woman really take off. It's just for the fact that we need more, and I hate to use the term diversity, but we need fresher blood on how to take these older vehicles and make them for a younger audience especially. Mm-hmm. And also I love the fact that when they shifted the timeline of it from the original storylines, I was very, very much okay with that. I thought that was very cool. What little I have seen of it, I love the production value. So I'm actually very happy to finally see DC have one that's firing on all cylinders without having to apologize for, the actor was bad or the writing was questionable,
or the director didn't get to have his cut of the film in theaters,
or it was too dark,
or it had nipples on the armor, So
throwback to that one.
Yeah,
that happened. Yeah, that happened.
But the thing is, it's really nice to see them finally get a vehicle up off the ground and really hit the ground running. This is what I would like to say.
Yeah, fantastic film.
Yeah. I am one of those folks that enjoyed the hell out of Man of Steel and BVS and Suicide Squad. So
I also liked Suicide Squad.
Yeah. So and like I had said on one of our previous shows, the one thing that made me apprehensive about Wonder Woman would be what if it was kind of a mixed reception coming out, and would I have to again go out of my way to defend a new DC film? But it's been welcomed enough so that there are plenty of people who are welcoming it.
By the time it hit the screenings for public outside of the press screenings, it was at like 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. And for those who don't know how Rotten Tomato works, Rotten Tomatoes themselves do not give a score. That is a collaboration effort of a lot of other critics, and it kind of gets compiled and they give you a score based on how a ton of other critics rate it. Mm-hmm. So just because it says it's a 97% or a 7%, that is not because Rotten Tomatoes says it is, because it's a collaborative effort of all of the other.
Yeah, like the number of movie critics that would endorse you watch the movie.
Yeah, exactly. If 7% say go see it versus the 93% that say don't go see it. But in one of those cases, 97% of the critics say go see it, 3% saying whatever.
That was
and they're wrong. They're wrong. It's a good movie.
Just so many thoughts right here. Just looking over it, I have bread, ramen, milk. Wait, that's my grocery list. Shit. That was an attempt at a joke. I apologize.
Let's see, it was a humor thing.
Because we hung there waiting.
We were waiting for you, and it fell flat.
Yeah.
Unlike Wonder Woman, where the comedic timing was perfect for Chris Pine and Gal Gadot, their little the dialogue in between them, the little quippy little innuendos that they had in there.
That was one of the things that you brought up. Yeah.
The little innuendos that they bring up, where Marvel gets a lot of that right, and a lot of the humor that doesn't fall flat and really does resonate with the audience. They brought that into Wonder Woman just enough to make it work.
Yeah.
They didn't overdo it like they would do with like Iron Man, where you have a very snarky, Tony Stark who's has a lot of one-liners and is very innuendo-y and is very playboy-y. You have Wonder Woman who's black and white, it's wrong or it's right, and you have Chris Pine's character. What's his character's name?
Steve Trevor.
Yeah, Steve Trevor, who is like, no, the world is just this way, and it's just, sorry, he can see the full spectrum, but their back and forth was just fantastic. I mean, you couldn't ask for better. Yeah. Back and forth, the comedic timing on both their parts when you had the comedic element. It was not throughout the film, mind you. It had its moments, and when those moments were there, they hit perfect.
And there were some appropriately dark and serious moments to go along with it.
Yes.
So I think that's the thing that does distinguish DC from Marvel. I feel like Marvel, every time they do have a serious moment, they have a joke at the end of it, which kind of negates whatever harsh feelings or whatever dramatic moment that would have had a bigger impact if it weren't for a joke canceling it out.
Correct.
So I would actually like to start by retracting something that I said in my initial reaction, which was I thought it had a little too much humor. Because specifically, I thought that the scene where
don't ruin it.
Oh no. It's not a spoiler, and in fact, it's been in the trailers and TV spots, but. They had the scene where she's trying on new clothes, and that one was appropriately funny.
Yes.
And then they immediately followed up with her trying to take her sword and shield out onto the street, and that I thought could have been a shorter scene, and there was enough humor you didn't need to just.
And that was in the trailer, so we're not spoiling.
That's all non-spoiler stuff. But I did watch it a second time with some friends, and I take that back. I think it had the right balance. It had enough humor to satisfy the people who want that, to make it an enjoyable film for general audiences, and still had some very serious and poignant moments, which, not to point fingers, I don't think you get in too many of the Marvel movies.
Well, Marvel's, they're owned by Disney.
Yeah.
So they have to keep.
They're good at what they do.
They're good at. They have a great formula, and they're going to follow that formula. That keeps bringing them lots of money. DC is trying to find their traction, and I think they got 2 feet on the ground with Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But that scene you're talking about, where she's trying to walk out of the store with her sword and her shield, I thought that was perfect because that's exactly how she would do it on Themyscira when she gets trained. She's ready to go to battle. She's got her shit with her. She's going.
Yeah,
So to me, I was like, that's exactly how that scene should have
I
played.
do think it was sweet how she was like prepping herself to go through the revolving door.
Yeah, because she's never seen a revolving door. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just that is good humor. The whole scene on the boat with them talking innuendo, that was good humor. I like like the style of humor that they went with, as opposed to I had a coworker who took a shot at the Doctor Strange movie because he said I didn't like how what was it Doctor Strange was listening to Beyonce
Yeah.
or something or some modern artist, and he said that would probably date the film, in years to come.
And that makes sense. Like I kind of agree with that aspect. Wonder Woman doesn't do that because it does take place in a particular time zone, so they can't do that.
Yeah.
But they do kind of have that sort of style of thinking in the film. At least Chris Pine's character does. And Wonder Woman is like, why do you think this way?
Yeah.
It's wrong. He's like, that's how we do it.
Yeah.
So
that's how we roll.
That's how we roll.
But yeah, just moving on from the humor. Yeah, I think that Wonder Woman has shown just an awe-inspiring model of how to move forward with DC films and
course correct a whole marketing campaign of what you're gonna do. I've heard speculation that they're actually gonna make Wonder Woman the lead character going forward on all either marketing and Justice League.
I don't know about that. They are doing reshoots right now, and I think you got to have enough time for each character in Justice League. And I trust Zack Snyder to pull that off because.
I'm not saying it's gonna be. I'm not saying Justice League is gonna be a bad film at all. I'm just saying because of the strong reception that Wonder Woman has, that they're gonna maybe put her forefront for a little bit to course correct to make sure, because there's been a lot of speculation on Batman. About maybe Ben Affleck is not going to come back as Batman. There's been some rumors and some speculations on some contract negotiations, money, attitude issues, alcoholism, whatever. So you course correct by putting your new star Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, front and center. So going, I forgot she was going to be in Justice League. I want to see more of her. I want to see Justice League just for her.
I think I think everyone will get their due.
I'm not saying
she's featured heavily in the trailer, and like I say, like Snyder did Watchmen, and that one it was hard to tell who was the star of that movie. I think he did a good job giving each character.
I have to go back and watch Watchmen again. I saw it once, and I was like, I couldn't follow it. So many storylines.
Yeah, but a lot of it was purposely casting the type of actors he did.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, so there was not one famous person leaping out.
Yeah, I was gonna cover this point last because I wanted to go right into Patty Jenkins because she deserves so much of this credit.
Absolutely.
I mean, like a majority of the credit for
you don't have a good film without a good director.
Yeah, yeah. But since we're kind of on the topic, I'll just go ahead and get this out of the way. That I would like to give a shout out to Zack Snyder because he has, I think, gotten a lot of heat for his films, and some of that criticism I can take and I can understand. A lot of it, I think, is
just stupid fanboys being
stupid. Yeah, it's just overly harsh and just taken out of context and very malicious. But we have to give him credit where credit's due because he's the guy who cast Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and it was not a popular decision. He cast Ben Affleck, again, not a popular decision. And Henry Cavill, I think, was born to play Superman.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, BVS. Of course, BVS. That's what so we see Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman is in BVS. So she doesn't have a huge role up until the end where she kind of shines.
Yeah.
And then of course I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, yeah, he's Torque. Zack Snyder did BVS. Duh. What am I doing?
But getting back to Patty Jenkins, who, as I said in our initial reaction, is a goddess for what she has done on this film, and
people don't give her enough credit. She gave what was the film that she directed? Monster, and gave who her first role? Charlize Theron her first Oscar. So you can't discount Patty Jenkins in any way, shape, or form.
No.
She's a wonderful director who can direct very well, and who deserves more credit than what she has been given. Yeah. And now hopefully this will springboard her into the main topic.
Yeah.
Maybe she'll land a Star Wars film.
There you go.
That's what I hope.
But, yeah, it's like she and Gal Gadot were able to craft the Wonder Woman character in a way that I think they might have come out and even said that we were kind of going for a Christopher Reeve Superman type.
There's a fly.
No, there's a fly on the wall. They're eavesdropping on us.
All right, it's the Russians.
It's the NSA.
That too.
No, it's Disney. They don't like what I said about Marvel.
But
More likely Disney.
Yeah, like
those DC checks must be nice.
hey, if they want to pay me, I don't mind. I will be a hack for Warner Brothers in DC. I would wear that as a badge of honor.
Yeah, whatever.
Come on, fanboys, come at me. But no, like Patty Jenkins, my God, she and Gal Gadot crafted a perfectly naive and innocent character without overdoing it, and felt like the kind of feeling you had when you first saw Christopher Reeve as Superman. They had that scene where she deflected a bullet, which is a homage to the first Superman film. So she managed to somehow like out Richard Donner. They had epic slow motion action fight scenes, and so she outs Zack Snyder. And it's a beautifully told origin story that was upfront, to the point,
I
well
want
put
to
together.
see a whole movie just based in Themyscira. Yeah, I want to see a whole movie based there. Not just because it's an island full of women, but those women are fucking cool as hell.
Yeah.
They can just, not only do they have their whole society, but they have their own way of politics and running things and their own form of combat. And it's just like, that's kind of where I'd want. I don't want to like be sexist, but like that's the female version of the Spartans.
They are.
That's what the Amazons were.
So you have, you obviously don't know Spartan women, so there you go. That's them.
I don't know. One thing has just popped into my head. So they train and fight and all that, right?
Yeah.
Are they just stuck on the island, or have they been fighting anyone else?
Stuck on the island. Well, they changed the mythology for the films.
Okay.
So they're on an isolated island hidden by the gods on Earth, but every time you approach it, I'm kind of ruining it for you. Anytime you approach it, it's covered in fog.
Yeah. No, that was part of the original Wonder Woman storyline.
Okay, I didn't read the original comic, so. But they did change on how it got there, how the island became the island, from what I understand. So. But yeah, they're preparing for the day where Ares comes back, and they have to deal with gods again. That's what the fight is, for the training for.
Yeah. Kind of wrapping up on the discussion of all the behind-the-scenes working of the film, I just would like to respectfully disagree with one of the folks at Collider Heroes, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett. Nothing personal. I love your commentary, but I do have to take issue because he did his typical rant not too long ago, where he said,
I love his
DC
rants.
film,
His rants were great.
yeah, not as good as Schnepp's passionate rants. I love John Schnepp. But Robert Meyer Burnett did. I think try to use Wonder Woman as an example where DC. What's this?
Slayer. Snap.
Oh, hey,
I got your comic.
Yeah.
The new one comes out yesterday.
Yeah.
I gotta go get it.
Wednesday's new comic book day.
Yeah, it's the third one in the series.
There you
Anyway, go ahead.
But Mr. Burnett was making his point yet again that DC needs a visionary figurehead in the mold of Marvel's Kevin Feige to move them forward. I would respectfully disagree. I think that what is best for DC would be to, just to use the term that he has said negatively, almost govern their movies by committee. Just make sure you have the right people in the room and they have the right taste, and
So
yes,
they
the
call
right
that
vision.
a war room.
Or yeah,
So you have you creative minds, kind of like what they do with I'm gonna use Star Wars reference, what they do with the story group, Star Wars story group. So you have a story group who's developing these story, not really developing the stories, but you have a group of people who can go back and go, well, this isn't connecting to this, so let's do this, but this works better for the story. We really like your idea, but can we change this to make it better for you and for the audience?
And specifically, DC/Warner Brothers has had trouble retaining filmmakers because they're overly interfering with their vision.
Look at Suicide Squad.
Yeah. Just re-editing, micromanaging, taking a half hour out of the theatrical cut of BVS.
Yeah, I didn't see the theatrical release. I only have the special edition, or the Ultimate edition.
Yeah. And
so I can only say that one was okay. I didn't dislike it at all.
And we came damn close to losing Matt Reeves as director of the new Batman movie, because he was approached about to sign on, and then they had like a few days where he said no, he was turning it down. And
probably because Warner Brothers is going to step in and go.
We don't know the inner workings of what happened, but the speculation, which sounded legit to me, was that he wanted to have control over the picture and not respond to like one figurehead. I
think filmmakers to a point should have control, at least of their story, until they're at the editing bay.
Right. Yeah. So I would just respectfully say to Mr. Burnett that we don't need a one, just there was a one-size-fits-all model to making these films, and
No, there is.
Kevin Feige does great work for Marvel, but I don't think that the DC model would require one figurehead. If anything, that would lead to more problems and more differences with the filmmakers who want to stand out, do their own thing,
Yeah.
and you got to inspire people like Patty Jenkins to have a free hand in this. And also, shout out to Jeff Johns, who is the kind of figurehead of DC films, although he doesn't seem to have as much authority as Feige.
Yeah.
But he was heavily involved in the making of Wonder Woman. I think he did a.
He probably told Patty Jenkins, go do whatever you want.
There you go.
Just make a good film.
Whatever
And
works.
I
yeah.
won't have to intervene. That's probably what he did.
But Charles Roven, the producer of the film, said that look, Jeff Johns and someone else, I'm blanking on their name, did a lot of uncredited work on the film script and story. And Jeff Johns is one of those guys who lives and breathes comics.
So he's a
and
fan? That's great.
a long-time fan. Oh my God.
I think we're
you have
coming
no
up on
idea.
this new age of filmmakers and company studio heads who were the fanboys back in the day, who are now
Absolutely.
coming up and developing these films and now head of these companies and are the producers and the writers of these beloved film franchises. We're seeing that with Star Wars for sure. We had Ryan Johnson, he's a huge Star Wars fan. We had J.J. Abrams, he was a Star Wars fan and a Star Trek fan, and any other fan that he needs to be to make a movie because he seems to reboot things and they do very good. They're great successes. And then of course we have Colin Trevorrow, who is a very huge Star Wars fan. So I know I keep referencing Star Wars; it's my baseline for pretty much anything. But if you're a fan of a property, you want that property to do well, regardless of what it is. So you're going to take hopefully extra care and precautions and write a good story if you're the writer, or if you're the producer, or the director.
Which guy is it on Rebels who got his job for knowing more trivia than the lead writer?
Sam Witwer.
That was Whitworth, yeah.
Sam Witwer got the job of voicing Maul and the Emperor for pointing out a script error
Yes.
about Padme.
There we go.
It's like, Padme, they've already met.
There we go. But
It was Dave Filoni. He outwitted Dave Filoni.
I can kind of imagine Jeff Johns being that type because he is like well versed in comics and obscure characters,
Definitely.
and he I think, my God, I do not know how these canon people on the Star Wars side or the comic book folks at DC or Marvel do this, but he's one of the guys who's in charge of making comic continuity fit.
Story groups.
Yeah, story grouping, be it the new Rebirth initiative and the new 52, but hats off to him for all the work that he does at DC.
I brought this up last week. I've seen, I think, every DC EU movie, and I've seen maybe one or two of the Marvel films, DC or MCU films, or maybe three, because I watched both Guardians, and I think
Avengers movies, there's two of those.
I didn't see any of the Avengers movies.
Oh.
I saw Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Captain America.
Okay, there we go.
Because I kept being called Captain America for a couple of reasons.
Really?
I'll tell you later.
Sean, any additional thoughts on all the behind the scenes stuff we're talking about?
All the discussion and everything. My mind is of two natures on the matter. You can see the success of the Star Wars franchise going forward because they do have a very dedicated story team, and they're all very much trying to seem to mesh together. Now, behind closed doors, maybe they're trying to stab each other with pens. I don't know. But the thing is, I think DC could either have a story group, or I think a lot of directors want to return to the Kubrick era. It's like,
Explain.
all right, Stanley Kubrick, right, 2001 and all that. He would make these films and never turn in his dailies. He would never turn in his shorts. He would do a lot of it as, it's my film, I'm making it, I'm shooting it. When it's done, I will show you, kind of scenario.
I don't know of anyone who could get away with that today.
Not today, no. But I think a lot of directors really want that control again. Because, to be honest, not all these films were financial successes out at first. And that's,
They now become cult classics.
they're classics, true. But no studio really wants to take that risk, where the strength of the story group is, you get such a diversity of opinions, backgrounds of different people. The drawback is it's going to be homogenized.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of giveaway in the writing aspect, I feel, to what the fans want versus what the original author wanted or what the original director's vision wanted.
Hmm.
So those are the two wars I see going on.
Good point.
So you can see the strengths over here, and you can see the strengths over here. Personally, if things go forward with the DC the way I see it's going to go forward,
Yeah.
I'm not an expert in the field. I like the idea of someone having a vision and going with it because once again it's like the Logan aspect of the X-Men movies. Each X-Men movie seems to exist in its own pocket universe.
And they said that they've come out and said that it does
So-
exist separately as their individual stories and individual moments.
Okay, but that gives any director that picks it up as a reboot a free hand to really put a different aspect and look on it.
That's why we got Logan.
That's
and
why we got
Deadpool.
Logan and Deadpool. And I really enjoyed, Deadpool. I haven't seen Logan. I actually purchased it. Someone deleted it. It's not a point. But
Yeah, I need to watch that one too. Again, I've seen more DC movies than Marvel.
But the thing is,
I'm not gonna complain.
so going forward, you literally have these two different models of what's going to produce what. And for me to be excited, even though I haven't seen the film, for a DC product to get its feet on the ground and actually getting traction, it's like maybe this is going to be returning back to a more old Hollywood model versus by committee.
Yeah, no, I like the way that I always say give the director the free range they need to make the movie, and don't micromanage them where you have to meet their standard of like, no, we need to do this to make money. I don't care about your story. We need it this way, or we need to cast this person to make money. Versus that guy or girl won't fit the way the character is written or the way I want to direct this. So, nah.
Yeah. I would again do a little bit of DC hack work here and say that is one thing that I like about the movie so far. You watch Man of Steel, it looks a little different it looks vastly different than Suicide Squad.
Oh, yeah.
You watch
Oh, yeah.
Wonder Woman, it looks nothing like BVS or Suicide Squad. And it's everything from the color palette to the tone. And
Yeah, I love
that is-
Wonder Woman's color
yeah.
palette. It works so well.
And that is one thing that me and some of my friends who follow these comic book films do worry about when it comes to Marvel movies, because I think I don't know enough to name all the technical specifics, but the aspect ratio of the film and the color palette all looks the same throughout the dozen or so movies that they've used, and I feel like that they've handicapped people when it comes to showing something different than the model that they've adhered to.
I want to give it a term, and they use this a lot in Star Wars. DC looks like a lived-in universe.
I like that.
Marvel looks like it's a brand new, polished universe in every film. Everything looks pristine. The ones I've seen, and I know Captain America: Winter Soldier, or Captain America takes place mostly during World War II, but even that didn't really look like it was all. The war looked like it just started. It didn't look like it was been going on for years. And then the few glimpses and moments I've seen in other than Marvel films, they look very shiny and very new and very colorful. That's what Marvel does. Versus DC, they do. I don't want to use darker, but they use a different color, a slightly darker color palette. They make the world look lived in, and I think that works to their advantage. That Suicide Squad to me really did it. There was a lot of bad things about Suicide Squad, but as far as a popcorn eating fun movie, it's what it was. The color palette and the world that it was in, looked lived in.
Yeah.
And Wonder Woman did the same thing. I was like, it works. I mean, it's a superior movie, but the world that it was set in, and again, it was World War I, but the battle sequence, and it was in the trailer where she runs out in the front lines. To me, it was like, did they film that during that time? Because everything looked grungy and dirty and gross and muddy. And like kind of what a lot of good war movies do, they make it look like you're there.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing with the Wonder Woman armor, the iconic armor. They toned it down and didn't make it as bright. It was still bright. It was a lot brighter than I was expecting.
It was brighter than it was in BVS. Yeah.
Exactly, but it could have been brighter. If it was in the Marvel universe, it would have been would have been Tony Stark bright or Iron Man bright.
Yeah.
It was definitely a couple hues toned down, and I think that worked perfect. But because it was from Themyscira, so they had to take care of it. So
Exactly.
they had to stay clean, pristine. But that's me looking at it from like the world of DC looks more lived in than the world of Marvel. But it's me.
Beautiful production design. Sean?
Well, I was also going to point out, one of the decisions to put it in World War I, something I think a lot of people are overlooking is one, changing it to World War One was, of course, differentiated from the original storyline for World War Two.
Mhm.
So you didn't have to compete with the Captain America effect,
That's
which
exactly
we'll
what I
all
was gonna say.
discuss,
Yep.
which I think is a brilliant move. But also, we're living right now in the 100th anniversary
Yeah.
of that era. So to see a film that is actually set in that era, and to go, hey, in 100 years we've gone from this to this.
Yeah. I didn't think about that, but yeah,
Like,
you're right. We're working on 100 year mark.
because what last April would have been the 100th anniversary of us declaring war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been following the World War One feeds just on the fact that a lot of the ramifications of World War One,
the war to end all wars,
is still going on. Such as World War Two just happened. It happened for its own reasons, but everything was set up in World War One.
Yes. Yeah. It was just a rehashing.
World War One was the end of the ancient world.
Yeah.
It was a breaking up of all the ancient world into the more modern world.
Awful mix of modern combat and old tactics.
Right, and so Wonder Woman being a character set in that time period, to me,
Marvel's fly. They're like, DC.
But the thing is,
getting closer.
She's someone from the ancient world, but through her, you can see her transitioning into the modern world.
Yeah.
Such as when World War One happened, like my grandfather, he was in World War One, didn't have a car, never saw an airplane, was shipped off to go fight in Europe, and see all these mechanized things, then come back to the farm in Texas and go, you don't understand, there's a whole other world out there. And when I was sitting here very quietly pondering that, you have a figure that is the total aspect of the ancient world and Amazon, set there by the gods, and then coming into the modern world, and when you return back to that island one day, it's going to be like, you girls are a little out of touch. I just want to bring that up.
That's kind of what I was thinking about the film. Like, she's a different woman than how she was on Themyscira.
You have to be after an experience like that. I know that
we're back to the Ahsoka thing.
Yeah,
you're different once you go past a certain point. You're going to be different.
Yeah, it's. I don't want to get into the what euphemistically called in writing the asshole rule, but shortly, if you're not the same person you were 5 years ago.
Yeah.
You look back at yourself 5 years ago and go, man, I was an idiot and an
asshole. Oh yeah. I say that about myself every week.
So when you hit 50, you're going to be looking back at your 40 yesterday. I'm still a jerk and an asshole. So it's one of those aspects of the change. But, once again, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but she's a figure from the ancient world on the verge of the modern world in a war that really set everything that we're dealing with today on the chessboard.
Yeah. It was the pieces for the game of chess, for the modern chess.
There we go.
Yeah, that's a good reference. I was like, that makes sense. As soon as you said chess, I was like, oh, I should have come up with that.
That was your cue, man.
There you go.
Your chance to shine.
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah, and just looking at DC as a whole, it's hard to rank Wonder Woman. I would still.
Are you talking DC as
DC
a whole?
EU, just as far as the DC EU, I guess now the last 5 films. Like
we got
I would still
Steel.
I would still rank Man of Steel first.
BVS,
because
Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and what was it?
Man of Steel. What's that? Man of Steel, BVS, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman. Okay, 4. Sorry.
There's only 4. Like, where are you getting this 5th one? Justice League.
That is coming out this year. That must have been what I was thinking of. But yeah, it's like ranking them so far. I would still put Man of Steel on top because that movie did something special in that it made me care about Superman, whereas before I always just kind of put up with him.
Yeah. You were that Batman going, God, I hate this guy, but I need him.
Yeah, it's like darn Boy Scouts, son of a
blankety blank.
So yeah, it's like I would go Man of Steel, Wonder Woman second, followed by BVS and Suicide Squad.
Yeah, Suicide Squad's on the bottom for me too, but not to say I didn't enjoy it. But I do switch over Wonder Woman on top of Man of Steel. I don't mind Superman. I never mind Superman, but it does have that Boy Scout that does grind on me. So I got to put Wonder Woman up there because I think any day Wonder Woman could take Superman down if she wanted to. That's my own opinion about it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Batman can do it because he's got money, right? And he can find.
That's a superpower.
Yeah,
he's rich.
He's rich. I think Wonder Woman on a beatdown scale, on a non-sunny day, I think Wonder Woman's got the upper hand.
I would also add one thing that will please you because you talked about how you like seeing these warriors on Paradise Island. We recently learned that Robin Wright will be in Justice League.
Yes.
I assume in a flashback sequence because one of my one of my favorite parts of the Justice League trailer was we have a shot of Amazons and Atlanteans fighting the forces of Darkseid, and it's
There's
widely
a
it's-
quick scene, yeah.
yeah, it's widely assumed that'll be part of this supposed prologue that tells the story of the Mother Boxes.
And of Aquaman.
Yeah, it's like one is given to the Amazons, one's given to I guess humanity, and one's given to the Atlanteans. But I'm sure we'll see General Antiope kicking some butt in the opening of Justice League.
Yeah, she's pretty badass.
Yeah, hell yeah.
What are you doing on time?
We're at 36 minutes right
Okay.
now, so just trying to make sure I covered all the Wonder Woman stuff. I don't want to say too much about the villain because that'll be spoiler territory. I'll just say that I liked him better than Enchantress in Suicide Squad. Man, I keep knocking Suicide Squad.
Man, no kidding.
I like Suicide Squad, so I don't want to.
Another model turned actress.
Yeah, Carla Delevingne,
Mhm.
who will be seen this year in the Valerian
Yes.
movie,
City of
Thousand
Thousand Worlds.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on the same mind behind Fifth Element.
Yeah, Luc Besson. Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
Besson.
the Professional and Fifth Element.
Yeah.
So I got that covered. Oh, okay. All right. One final housekeeping for Wonder Woman. I had mixed feelings about the new DC logo that preceded the film.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I was like a few days.
I'm wary of the new Marvel one too.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because a few days before watching Wonder Woman, I actually complimented DC on how I like how they have a very simple, quick logo before the movie,
Yeah.
whereas Marvel's logo takes
the flippity one.
yeah, it takes like God, the new one which
Takes like a
debuted with
minute.
Guardians. Exactly, it feels like it takes 1 or 2 minutes to unveil itself. It's
Yeah.
just, so it's like
The old one with the nice comic book flip.
Yeah.
That was cool.
that was
The
fine.
original Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
rebooted Spider-Man.
Yeah, but I mean, Marvel, could you turn down the ego on your logo, please? So DC, at least it wasn't as long, and it
Yeah.
does have some cool animations of all the Justice League characters, and then it has a wide shot of all the characters. So
I would say if they're gonna revamp it, just keep the main
Yeah.
core of the
Yeah.
Justice League
keep it short.
opening like it used to be.
Like I understand that you do have to distinguish this comic book movie from the Marvel movies, because there are people out there.
Then don't make a similar to the opening sequence.
Well, it's
Come
just
on,
that
the cool kids are doing it.
But
I don't care.
it's like there are people out there, casual moviegoers, who don't know about the Marvel DC divide.
And some of them would be like,
yeah.
it's just another comic book movie.
I've had I've had
And rightfully so. It is just another one, but it's
I've had people ask me why won't Batman appear with the Avengers?
Yeah, that's where crickets come in.
you hear the crickets?
Yeah, it's one of those things like you either you know who Jack Kirby is and you understand the reference of mother boxes, or you don't. And
Jack Kirby, someone else who I think just had their 100th anniversary.
Yes. Yeah. Showing my geekdom, I have a limited comic by him.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Which one?
You own a comic?
Yes, I do.
Oh
I own one.
wow. My comic collection started with just one. Did you have more than one?
No, actually, I don't. I'm not
Wow.
really a collector.
What's this special
unless
Jack Kirby
it's-
one?
Unless it's weapons.
Oh,
It was an homage. It was a collection of his original sketches and an homage to, ironically, one of his fans, the guys who developed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Huh.
And so it was a standalone one-shot comic book that even has Jack Kirby in it, with Jack Kirby's art.
Oh.
So it was kind of that thing. Is like you show a true comic book a nerd by saying Jack Kirby and the Mother Box kind of discussion, because those are kind of those were his thing, and the New Gods, and and all that. So
And all right, I think that's a good way to top off the comic book talk, and we briefly want to get into our secondary topic, which was The Mummy opens in theaters this weekend.
Yep.
Will not beat Wonder Woman at the box
I don't
office.
think
is what
so.
they're
No chance in
predicting.
hell.
And the reviews are
It's not-
slowly trickling in.
I won't always reference Rotten Tomatoes, and I do like how they work. I do like the way they pool reviews together. I like it. I think it works. If you as long as you know how it works, it's fine. And everyone has their own way of rating. I happen to, until we get a rating system for this show, I'm gonna keep referencing Rotten Tomatoes, and you can reference whatever one you want. It doesn't matter. But I'm saying with Rotten Tomatoes has been such
They
a
reference my gut.
that's whatever works.
spleen.
My spleen tells me it's not gonna do well.
So you don't want to hear what my liver thinks.
It says have another beer. It's not getting great critical response, and it's I kind of want to go, well, yeah. I loved Brendan Fraser's The Mummy movies, the two, not the third one, because the third one was terrible. So you got The Mummy, The Mummy Returns, and then they did that third one without Rachel Weisz, which is god awful. Most people forget about it because no one saw it. It did horribly.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Exactly.
I didn't know about it.
More to my point. And I think no one was asking for a reboot of this franchise. I really am looking forward to their monster universe, or dark universe, as they're calling it. That to me is intriguing to have all of the classic monsters together. However, I'm going to see this film because I'm curious, and I do like the idea of a modern time mummy coming back and having curses and having it tie into a larger monster world. That to me is fantastic. I don't see it doing well at the box office, and I don't see it beating Wonder Woman, and I don't see it getting critical reviews. But not to say I'm not going to trash it right now because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So those are my first thoughts.
Hold our fire till later.
Exactly.
John?
Yeah. It's actually a movie I wanted to see because of the dark universe aspect. As a kid, I did like watching a lot of monster movies. I was one of these terrible kids. It's like, come on, scare me kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, you know. But my first impression of seeing the trailers is I can't get past the fact of, like, you know, it's in a trailer, not a spoiler zone here. Tom Cruise waking up in a body bag and he has no clothes. It's like, that reminds me of a party I went to. I can't get past that part. It's like, whoa.
Woke up in a body bag, John.
Been there, done that.
Yeah, but been there, done that. But, you know, but my first question would be not how I survived the airplane. It would be like, where are my clothes?
Oh,
again. But it just threw me out of the movie because I was, you know, it had great visuals and all that, and I overlooked the Tom Cruise effect and went, okay, now I can't take this film serious. It just
Me and some coworkers have been having like a friendly bet on whether or not they're going to dub over Tom Cruise's scream in that plane crash sequence.
no, I don't think so. I think Tom Cruise has a you will not edit my lines.
I'm Tom Cruise.
I am Tom Cruise. I may be short in stature, but I'm big in personality.
I can outrun you.
He doesn't use the S word. He never uses the S word.
Really? No, he never calls himself short.
No, he never uses the S word.
No.
He's the proper size.
He is the proper size.
That's how he sees himself.
Yeah, good for an action star, I guess.
Everyone else is elongated freaks, you know.
I'm looking forward to the Mummy just so we can, you know, watch it, see how it does, and
Kickstart this monster universe.
see what plot threads they have going that'll lead on into the next couple of films.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad movie. I just don't see it doing well against Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It's sometimes that's a tragic pairing, you know.
You can't pick, like, you plan these movies out sometimes a year in advance, 2 years in advance when the release date is, before another movie comes along, and you realize, like, did Wonder Woman just really put their opening weekend before ours? We can't change it.
Yeah, and contractually you really can't change it because once everything's in place. But the thing is, you start rooting for the other film to be horrible.
Yeah.
So you do better.
But that didn't happen.
Yeah. It's like Weird Al's film.
I don't want this movie to be bad. I don't want it to fail. I don't want any decent film to fail.
No.
Most of the time, not whatever film that came out with us recently, the super romance one, but
That narrows it down.
never mind.
Okay.
I didn't see it, so I just heard horrible things about the movie. You have a filmmaker and a writer and a director and an editor and actors who put time and effort into make a product. I never wish those films to do horribly. A bad movie is going to be a bad movie. Period. If you're a bad writer, you're a bad editor, you're a bad director, you're going to make probably a piss poor movie. If you have good actors in those bad movies, your actors will do well, but it may not save the movie.
Like, what was it? Halle Berry, God bless her, accepting her Razzie for that awful Catwoman movie.
She owned
years
it.
ago.
Though.
She owned it.
She owned it.
Thank you for putting me in this crappy movie.
Yeah. As long as an actor or an actress or whatever accept the fact that they were in a total trash movie and go, you know what, that movie was total crap, but I was happy I had to do it. God
Check
bless you,
clear.
fans.
Yeah.
Check didn't bounce.
You still saw me.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh man. Like we're almost up on time. I would just add one final point because I love me a good Michael Caine story. This is the story
My
about
name is Michael Caine.
Michael Caine. He actually skipped out on like the 1989 or 1990 Oscars for which he was nominated for something because he was filming Jaws: The Revenge.
Oh,
And like someone asked him years ago, like, how did it feel
Whoa.
making that god awful movie? And his reply was something along the lines of, Well, I've not seen the film, but I often look at the beach house to help me buy.
Exactly. Exactly.
Exactly.
That's how you gotta
Check cleared.
when you know that you're in a shit movie. And I've been an extra in a couple of movies. I had to sign my life away saying I will not sue them for money for likeness. You know, it's like if long as the check clears, I guess it's totally fine that you're in this crap. You know,
But it's also the fact that you
I
never,
was in one of your movies and I
Right.
got cut.
yeah, well, that wasn't my call. But the thing is, the great irony is it could be a crap film, and then 20 years later, you're being invited to receive an honorary doctorate for some cult
Yeah,
classic.
you're like, what the,
You know,
this piece of garbage.
it's happened. I mean,
I know.
The Room is, with the whole fork reference and everything. That guy is still out there. I can't remember his name, but you know what I'm
I
referring
keep getting the room and Four Rooms confused. Not the same movie by
Not the
any
same
means.
movie.
Good movies,
and not the one
respectively.
with Brie Larson in it, the new one. It's just this B film. This guy still being invited and paid to go talk about his bad B film.
Yeah.
And yeah, you got James Franco making a movie about the making of that film.
Yeah, which is just meta.
Yeah,
That's just meta.
that's craziness.
All right.
That's it.
I think that's it. And thank you for joining us today for Better Than B. We hope you enjoyed yourselves, and please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you to James and Sean for joining us tonight.
Yeah. And as always, guys, take care.